Hey guys, welcome to the Centre Bounce. In today's video, we're going over all the break-evens, all the relevant players that you guys should be bringing into your teams this week, and the ones you probably should be getting rid of. Stay tuned. Joe, I know it's kind of only round 3 heading into round 4, but there's a lot of players, a lot of movement. I know after this week, I'm probably going to have spent 9 trades. 9 trades, mate. These videos have helped me quite a lot. How are you doing? Have these videos been helpful for you and you, mate, looking to bring in some of these guys we're going to talk about this week?
Yes, very, very much so. The reason why we make these videos is because we sort of do our own research and think, like these are the sort of players that we're looking at. Why not share the love and go through all the break evens? I know a lot of people don't have Supercoach Gold, Supercoach Plus, whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
the subscription service. We did tell you guys about FootyWire as a resource last week, but this is just nice and consolidated all in one place, and we can go through all of them one by one.
Yeah, 100%. And sometimes I think with these kind of things, players get missed. You might look at a player and never consider someone. So stay tuned. Jump on the video. Watch till the end. We're going to go through all the people, as I said, and maybe you guys might change your mind for your trades this week.
So we'll start off right off the bat. The bubble boy, the boy on everybody's lips, minds, hearts, and thoughts is Sam Darcy. Negative 92 break even on the buy. If you are fading him, you are fading lots of cash gen. And if you've seen our DPP tracker video, you would have seen that he's on track for dual status. He's going to get Ruck status as well. So a lot of utility to be found with Sam Darcy.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing that's really going to stop us at the moment is Bevo. Bevo comes out and says, nah, Darcy, take a week off this week. Just take a break. It doesn't matter. I can see Bevo doing that, Joe. Bevo's a bit of a douchebag that way. So, yeah, that's probably the only thing that's going to hurt us. You have to get Sam Darcy in this week.
Yeah, it's either now or never, because that 100-plus score will drop out of his system, and he's going to go up a lot of money.
He'll be 200K next week. If he comes out and scores a 70, 70 is pretty easy as a part-time ruckman. He's going to be 200K, and he's going to be very hard to bring in.
Yep, exactly. Harvey Thomas was on the buy, as was Aaron Cadman, so these guys still have the exact same break-evens as they did last week. I wouldn't go for either of them at this current price point.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have Cadman, so fantastic there. We spoke about last week about Harvey Thomas. Obviously, the 100 is just into his cycle now, but he's had 40, 40, and then 100. So, yeah, I just don't think he's really relevant for Supercoach at the moment. If you have him, fantastic, because he's paid off for you.
He's not playing West Coast every week, let's be real.
No.
Sam Naismith, only the one game. Buku Kamis already had a price rise, 58K. Keep it going, son. Don't stop till you get enough.
You can jump on Buku Kamis if you're a bit crazy and you've got some spare trades. I've seen a few people do that. I myself have jumped on Dempsey this week. Buku Kamis is cheaper, and he's going to get DPP. The 82 is nice, but you just got to be lucky for it.
Yeah, you're going to have to be really lucky for it. Plus, like I said in the DPP video, I just feel like his job security isn't as locked in as an Ollie Dempsey's. I just feel like Keith waiting in the wings in the VFL could kick Buku Kamis out if he has a bad game. So as long as he continues to perform, then he'll stay. And if he's performing, it means he's scoring for us as well. So we have a symbiotic relationship with Buku Kamis. Everyone's got Sanders. If you've kept on to Jai Clark, well done. And negative 39 break even, you do not let go of that.
No, and similar to, Joe skipped over Jared Lyons, but potentially if he gets named this week, he's going to make people a bit of money. No, I'm not gutsy enough to do it. Probably don't do it, but he is going to make some money with that negative 39 break even. So it might work out for you. Someone else who we're going to talk about is Tom Brown. A little bit more expensive than a Josh Draper, but both of them being on the bubble in our back line. We've just been smashed with some more injuries. A lot of us still have a Zach Reed. The only problem with Tom Brown is he's on the bubble now, and then in 2 weeks, I think it's next week or the week after, they've got the bye. So it really hurts kind of his initial cash gen. He'll still make a bit of money. I'm not sure what the job security is like either. They have had some injuries in the back line, but there are some players coming back. So it's a bit of a sketchy one for me.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go there. I would not go Tom Brown. I think Josh Draper probably is the better one. If you want to go for a key defender, or a defender in general this week, but neither of them really fill me with immense confidence, and I really wouldn't go for either of them this week. Happy to hold on and wait for a Warner next week. I think he looked absolutely unreal before he got concussed. So Warner, I think for me, Carl Warner is probably the one that I would look to get. If you're going to trade in the back line this week, I just feel like it's going to be a premium, like a Whitfield type, for example. But I wouldn't be looking at these guys. Jack Carroll, if you have him, well done. Last week was the week to get him in when he was coming off his bye. He's now made almost 61K. Negative 33 break even. He's only scoring 68s. Would you spend 184 for a 68 with Sam Walsh coming into the side soon, potentially? I would not be going there.
Yeah, if you started him, great, as Joe says. I think Voss is really going to be a person that says, cool, you're playing well, you're in the team, but his role change is definitely going to happen. He's been playing Sam Walsh's role, basically, standing around the contest, getting the ball, doing kicks. So that's going to change when Walsh comes back. Don't jump off by any means. Negative break even, whatever. But just something to watch out for.
Now, this man. Now then. Now.
It's always coming, Joe. It's always coming.
Just calm it down. But he could be good. He could be good. Scott Father obviously showed you guys his heat map in his latest brainstorming video.
Shaq's
seeing what forwards are doing, what he's doing, what Mackay is doing, what Jesse Hogan is doing. These big forwards are doing these similar things, presenting higher up, and connecting in the play. He would have popped off last week against Essendon had he not been suspended. But for everyone is contemplating, he is a negative 29 break even this week, playing against Richmond. Who is stopping this man? I think nobody is. So he could go bananas this week.
Yeah, if you've got a Harry Mackay last week, if you've got a Tom Powell, or these kind of players who are going to make quick money, Max King doesn't get injured. If he has a half-decent game, he's going to jump up in price. He's only 340. He's probably going to go up to, let's say, close to 400 next week. There is a possibility that, hey, it turns out to be a great pick, real cash cow kind of thing at the start. You got to be ballsy, Joe, and not have any troubles this week. Like, forget fixing rookies, forget doing everything. Max King's the way to go if you're going to play that way.
If you have someone like a Wines who is out this week, I feel like that sort of gives you the leeway to use the money to get someone like him in. But for the rest of us who don't have the cash or these mid prices that are potentially that are not working, and you've got your Dempseys of the world already, he could be someone that you look to get in. For me, it just doesn't work for my team. Where my team is at, Max King is definitely a viable option if you want to go there.
Mate, there's some crazy people this year in Supercoach, Joe. We're going to see a few Max Kings. Oh, I'm glad I brought him in. At least you guys watched the centre bounce and we told you about him. That's all that matters. There's a few other players. I know Jacob Weir, low break even as well, but has made some money. Number 23, Joe, Oliver Dempsey. It hurt me last week not owning Dempsey. And I'm very, very happy he did not score over 100. I think he didn't get scored from a few 1%ers. And there was that touch on the line as well that worked out quite well for him. So tell us about Oliver Dempsey. Why should we bring him in? You're bringing him in this week, right?
Yeah, he's highlighted here. It's because I brought him in this week. And I spoke about it in the preseason. I thought this guy looked unreal. I should have kept him in my side. I feel like a nincompoop right now, having to spend an extra $71.4 thousand to get him in. And he's actually underscored, I feel. He had a couple of clangers. in that game against the Hawks as well. One particularly in the wet when he just turned the ball over. Hard to hit a target when it's absolutely pissing down on you. So yeah, that 86 could have been a lot worse, and I'm very glad that it didn't go as bad as it could have gone. So Ollie Dempsey, he's still worth it at this price. Yeah, you're paying a bit more for him, but if he averages around 75, 70 for the next 3 weeks, he's making over 100,000 already. So that's a successful trade. Plus, he is a very valid, genuine on-field option on your field. So yeah, Ollie Dempsey, get in my side, son. Absolute gun. He's not playing as a small forward, and this is without any goals as well, mind you. An 86 with no goals. So watch out.
Yeah, he looks good, and he just plays around everywhere. Like, touch on the line in the back line kind of says a lot when it comes to, these plays and how well he does. And as Joe says, you can just put him on field, right? A lot of us have a Billings. Well, I don't have Billings. Joe used to have Billings. James Jordan, get in the bin. Ollie Dempsey is the way to go, and it could work out very, very well for us.
And 90% time on ground as well. He just runs. And that's with a slow start. He was on the bench, I think, for the first 10 minutes of the game and then played 90% of it. So Ollie Dempsey, what a freak. If you haven't got him, I reckon you can pay up for him with confidence. I know some people ask about Mark. Yeah.
He's really the only one, I think, that it flaked twice. We've talked about Buku Kamas a little bit, talked about Harvey Thomas and a few of these other ones. I think he's the only one that you can actually be confident and bring into your team and be like, cool, I've got someone on field comparable for one of my mid prices that I'm switching out this week.
And I know this is called the final call, and he featured in our final call last week, but this really is the final call for Ollie Dempsey. If you miss him now, you miss him forever, essentially. So, yeah, that's that. I know some people were asking about Mark Keane as a potential option. I'm not paying up for a mid-pricer in the back line at this stage. I've already got too many of them. I think you want to go real guns and rookies, and who knows what's going to happen with Adelaide, if they're going to change their structure and if they're going to send Dawson behind the ball to be half-back. That will obviously kill Mark Keane scoring if Dawson was to go back there and use his kicking out of defense in order to maybe potentially improve the connection of the ball moving forward. So, yeah, I wouldn't go Mark Keane myself.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the same with me. There is like some nuance to maybe not Massimo's a bit late, but I have seen some people play around with Keane, with Bramble, things like that. If you have to get rid of some of these players, if you're switching out a Young, maybe that's a week too late. But if you had Winhager in the back line, for example, make a little bit of money, put Keane on field, you've got someone there. Adelaide's got no one in this back line. So there is potential for some scoring. But as Joe says, if he was 200K, I can understand. Getting closer to 300K, probably not.
Yep. Facts. Everyone's got Kobe McKercher now. Answorth. I mean, he's got North this week.
No thanks.
He's got North this week, so potentially maybe he could go big.
Yeah, I hope not.
Conway's played the one game, scored an 83. Yep. If he's named again this week, then he'll be on the bubble next week, the week after. So it will be really interesting to see what happens with him. So keep an eye out for Toby Conway in the scoring, his role, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's a big thing as well. He's 180K, but with a Livingston, we've spoken about Sexton and a few other players in our, DPP video that's coming out or just out at the moment. There's a free switch for these players to a Conway in 2 weeks. And mate, Ruckman coming in the perfect time, Joe, when we've got Grundy and then Max Gawn being out. Hey, why not make it happen?
100%. Conway will be an absolute constant. That's why a lot of us in the preseason were looking to have Conway at R3, especially if you were having a Grundy or Gawn and Grundy. One of these Ruck have the early buys, and so having a Conway to cover would be bellissimo. Carl Warner sort of spoke about him a bit earlier. He's the one I would get in defense. he's only played the one game. He's had concussion, so he's the one I would get in defense as a rookie. He looked unreal before the concussion game. So this week will be his second game. He'll be a good pickup, I think.
Yeah, there's a few of us that have a Reed, have a Hoare in the back line. Even if you've got someone else and potentially a Dacos or whatever, you can put them to the midfield and then put Water in there. I haven't heard much to see Hayes off his concussion issues, so just something to kind of keep track of, I think.
Of course. If he's off the concussion issue, or if he's not named because he's still suffering from concussion, you're obviously not selecting him, right?
No.
What else is there? Josh Gibcus is on the bubble.
Yep. Yeah. Mate, he's got to play 3 games next year, Joe. That's a bit.
That was very distasteful.
About Josh Draper, has he popped up yet, or no? Because he hasn't played.
No, we haven't got the Josh Draper just yet. I don't think.
Okay.
Where is he? Where is Josh Draper?
No, I think maybe
have we already gone past him?
I think so. Is it Josh Draper from Freo? Yeah. Okay.
Jeremy Sharp.
There you go. Number 13. Wait, Joe, we jumped way out.
This guy?
I don't know. You got excited about Max King, and then we just forgot about Josh Draper. Guys, I'm very sorry because Josh Draper's 123k. He's versus Carlton. Do not expect a big score. But looking at what Damo from formerly Jock Reynolds, now the mailbag, has been saying, he looks like he's kind of cemented himself in his position. They need more players down back who are 197 plus, and he has looked good whenever he's played. So potential sideways option for a few of us. I know cash gen is king at the moment. And if he can get himself to 200k with scores of 50s, 60s, and 70s, that might be all you need, Joe.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're playing Carlton this week, and I can't see Fremantle getting within 6 goals of them.
Maybe he takes kickouts. Who knows? Maybe not.
He won't take kickouts. He's going to get a lot of goals kicked on him, the poor young man. He's going to get a lot of goals kicked on him. And I hope that doesn't kill his confidence, and I hope that doesn't mean Longmuir is going to have to start messing around with team structure with all of their injuries. Lazaro, he's already had a price rise. I would not be spending 212,000 for Lazaro.
He might get dropped, to be honest.
You might even get dropped. There you go. Elijah Hollands had a sensational first game of 116. Watch him again this week if he goes crazy against Fremantle. If he does, then this break-even will be very negative. Of course, you're paying up a little bit for him, 276k. But
they're not going to play North Melbourne every week. That's
true.
That's the big thing. Yeah. And by the time that we start to look to bring in Hollands, like if we have to, we're probably upgrading our team, not bringing in more mid prices. That if he started the season, cool, no worries. If he started the season on a 116 and looked as good as he did, mate, we'd all have him anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Tom Powell still in the negatives. If you got him, congratulations. If you haven't got him, you still can't get him. If he's gonna be pumping out 92 every week, against a tough midfield in Carlton, that's really good. That's a really great response by him. Averaging 105 at the moment, 105 average for a 375k player is still unders. I still think you can get him in this week.
Yeah, I think so, but this would have to be the last week. The only thing that's really saving him is the roles there at North Melbourne. He's had the third week to make it kind of happen. And if you watched our DPP tracker video, there's not many players from the midfield that are going to get forward status that are actually worth it at the moment anyway. So, there is potential there, I think.
Yep, for sure. Matt Taberner is just not a good footballer. Don't worry about him.
Sorry, Matt.
But Mikelti Lefau, I love saying his name. Okay, I love saying Mikelti Lefau. And we saw him in that preseason game against Melbourne, and he looked really good when he came on. He's played 2 games. Yes, he hasn't been scoring well, right? Average of 33. I get that. But you would imagine that his job security is really good, considering that both Bolter and Lynch are out for substantial periods of time. Lynch, obviously, more than Bolter, but still. Mikelti Lefau almost is a walk-up selection that you can put on the bench, perhaps, and hope for the occasional spike game, if it does come. But he's a 102k rookie, which means he doesn't have to average very well in order for him to make his money.
Yep. A lot of us had Caminiti last year. And the good thing about Caminiti was he kicked a couple of goals and did quite well. The foul may be a little bit different. I think the inconsistency is definitely there. I don't think he even played much preseason. Like, they kind of just picked him up the last day before DPP, before SSP finished, and said, cool, you're in the team. I was like, all right, no worries. So, yeah, if they're playing him, means they like him, right? That's probably the big thing.
That's exactly like Kama. Kama the Hammer was picked up within a week.
Kama was 102k and scored like a 70 in his first 2 games. Like, this guy hasn't scored 70 in 2 games, Joe.
I know. I rate Kama as well more than Mikel de la Val. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about the story, the back line, the narrative. You know what I mean? To get to this point, we watch. Whoever trades him in this week, he's going to give you a 70-point game this week.
Feels like a Godfather move. That's all I'm
He will score 70 points this week if you trade him in. And then when he does, I want you to come back to me and say thank you. And if he doesn't, I want you to come back to me and say stuff for you. I never listen to you again. Jackson Mead, he's still negative break even, but I did not want him. Don't get him. Bro, what about Sam Berry? Can we get Sam Berry in? Your boy? Boy?
The way I'm making my team at the moment, I might have to keep Sam Berry another week. Don't like. He's going to be sub again. Cool, -2 break even. He's going to make 20k this week. So just don't do it. Save yourself the heartache, I think.
All right, fair enough. All right, so now we'll filter. I mean, that's the top 50 people, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's probably everybody. Darcy Wilson, probably not jump off. He's probably the most relevant one, I think, at 54. So don't jump off Darcy Wilson. He should play. He just had a really shitty game. So if you've got someone else and you have to go like a Sam Darcy to him to make it work, potentially okay. But just don't do it.
He's not playing the Bombers every week. He's not playing a tough opposition every week. It's okay. We can forgive him.
These days, are they?
We can forgive him for playing the Bombers, bro. He's not going to have contract year Jake Stringer in front of his face every week. It is what it is. All right, so we'll up the price now to what, 400k? Over 400k. See who's got a low break even. Getting towards the fall in primo stage, guys.
Yes, all the guys that maybe is the last chance to jump on, and that will probably be the case for. I'm going to say Setterfield, 123 average. Harry Mackay.
He's back this week. Setterfield. He's back. There
you go. Harry Mackay. If you didn't get him last week, maybe you can get him. I'm looking at it. William Drew, potentially you can get in as well. I don't think anyone's going to pick Neil Bullen. Who else is on the list, Joe? Yeah.
Jeremy McGovern.
He's the one. And there is an article that has come out from the WA Herald Sun, whichever newspaper they've got there, saying that, hey, look, he might play forward this week. So obviously he's not going to get all the kick-ins. I think they've actually brought a few players who only play defense into the side this week or traveling with them over to Adelaide. So that could definitely affect things. But, yeah, 120, 124, and then I think the first week scored a 130 because I'm looking at that 373. So he's been doing very, very well for them. If he doesn't play forward, chuck him in your team.
Yeah, he's looked really good. For me, I don't know. I just think the injury risk is there. He's gone to Qatar with Yo. So potentially these guys have had some Arab spice rubbed into them, and now they're living life and they're not going to get any injuries. I don't know, some shisha perhaps, but no, not for me. I can't trust the body whatsoever. Jordan Clark's looked really good playing that halfback role, absolutely killing it. He's got a break even of 48. despite flying so well, he's only gone up 37K. So it's not like you're going to be breaking the bank in order to get him in. But do you trust that role to persist moving forward? If so,
yeah. That's the question, right?
That's the question. Don't get Dyson Heppel. 110 average for Dyson Heppel. What the heck is going on here?
There's a couple there that have reset themselves, though. So we look at Nick Martin, 56. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm not going to say much because he came out with a 136 last week, but it really hurts having to trade him, and I did that last week, and yeah, it's not great. You can bring him back into your team. If you were struggling that much, cool. If you can wait till round 7, you can see if he's going to be a defensive keeper. Cool. Just wait. I don't think he's going to drop that much. I don't think he's going to score a 137 every week. Bombers do look like they've got a few players coming back. Maybe that affects Nick Martin in a good way. I know JD talked about it in his latest video as well, where Essendon seems to have a few players down back who like to just pass it to each other, like Freo does, and then deliver it off the halfback. So maybe that helps Nick Martin, maybe it doesn't.
Ridley's back not this week. Ridley will be back next week.
Would you bring Jackson into your team? No, that's it. Just straight up.
Sean Darcy's back next week, bro. Sean Darcy's back next week. I wish he was back this week.
Darcy's going to get rested. He's going to play half a game. Jackson,
doesn't matter.
We talked about all the forwards that are crap and how bad they are. Can we get Jackson in our team?
No.
Okay, all right then. Easy.
I want Darcy back in this week. He's traveling with the team, bro. I want him to be the sub this week, just to come in, play a bit of football, play a few minutes, and just freaking kill Jackson scoring because it sucks not owning him. Matt Crouch, bloody hell. If you started him, congratulations. I feel like I've missed out on something sensational here.
Yeah, definitely. I have been looking at potentially putting him in my team, moving a few things around. He's affected Dawson in such a way. Like, Dawson's tanked. And we'll talk about Dawson in the next part of this video. But Matt Crouch has come in. Dawson's shit the bed. He'd be good for a 115, Joe, I think.
Yeah, maybe. If he stays in the team.
115 is not that hard to make. Like, it's a 115. It's not that hard.
If he stays in the team.
Fair enough.
Something has to give. Something has to change in that
They've all been named this week, though. Even Sam Berry's been named this week. Like, they've all been named. Something. And Matt Crouch can only play mid. It's not like they're going to put him in the forward line.
No. They should drop him. Because they're going to drop Nick. They're going to drop Nick soon.
Gets rid of Dawson and then says Matt Crouch needs to go. Come on, Joe.
Mate, this is my inner bias talking here, right? It is what it is. I can voice my beliefs and my thoughts too, all right? And Isaac Heaney, 63 break even. Let's go. Don't trade him in. Too late. Way too late to get him in.
You can still get him.
Nah, don't get him.
If he's going to be a keeper, he's going to make you a bit of money. He plays West Coast this week, Joe. Like, he's going to smack him. He's going to be like, West Coast, get out of here. That's what he's going to do. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be as bad, I think, is what
fair enough. Right. So we'll go now to over 500K.
Yep.
And we'll reverse the break-evens.
These are guys who you probably need to start thinking about getting out of your team if you have them at all. Number 76 there, Nick Dacos, is probably the one that a lot of us are holding. If you did antipod Nick Dacos, though, you would be very, very happy. He's on a 114. Is it 114 average? What's his average at the moment?
108.
It's not great. You've missed out on 50K. He's probably going to drop down to 550 after his bye. You can get him in then if you did, but if you did antipod, if you got someone else instead of Nick Dacos in the back line, you've done well this year.
Mate, Jack Sinclair, 175 break even.
Drop. Cheap.
Drop it like it's hot, Jack Sinclair. Drop it like it's hot, man. We want you to be so cheap before your Marvel run. It would be perfect. Jordan Dawson. Good riddance. Thank God I saved myself 57K plus the 50 odd K that I got from the downgrade from Dawson to Sarong. Thank God I did that. If you haven't done it, I'm very sorry. 68 for someone who was priced at 650 is just simply unacceptable.
Yeah.
And he just does not look right. He just does not look right. If you want to trade him out now, you've lost so much money.
You can still do it. You can still do it. But as Joe says, you really just have to decide in yourself and say, hey, is Jordan Dawson going to bounce back? Is he going to be a keeper? We've spoken about like Matt Crouch at length, at least a little bit, how influential he's going to be on Dawson and has been already. I just don't know if it's there, Joe. If he bounces back, fantastic, but he has a long way to bounce back, and he's going to bottom out in price very, very quickly.
Oh, 174 break even. There's no chance. No chance of him doing that. So you would imagine. So, look, 27 touches. He's getting the ball in his hands. It's just the clangers. Will he clean it up? Will we see a Hayden Young and a Nick Martin from him? It's very possible. Very possible. For me, I just didn't want to take the risk and I traded him out. But if you look to hold on to him, believing that he's still got the role and he's still finding the pill and that he'll just clean it up eventually, then you could just hold on to him. I don't think holding on to him is a wrong move. Like LDU, I don't think holding on to LDU is wrong either because he's still got 27 touches and he's still got a lot of CBAs. So he's got the role. He was tagged in the first half against George Hewitt. And it was after George Hewitt dropped the tag that he started to score really well again. So is he going to cop a strong tag every week? You probably don't think so. So yeah, you would imagine LDU could possibly bounce back from that.
He's going to be very cheap for those people that've got him though. Very, very, very cheap.
And Marshall too. Will make it easier for us to trade to him from Grundy.
Yep. Cheap is good, Joe. Cheap is good.
79. Obviously double teamed against Draper and Goldie. Very tough matchup. Draper by himself was already a tough matchup for Ruckman because of the way he plays. And then you add on to that. You add on to the fact that he also had Goldie to compete with, and Marshall had a nice little patch where he was just taking intercept marks galore in the back line, but he gave away a few too many free kicks because both Draper and Goldie worked him over in the ruck, and he gave away quite a few free kicks. I have not seen a guy so openly pissed off like Rowan Marshall was in that game. It was hilarious how pissed off he was. He just kept giving away free kicks. Plus, I think he might have popped the head knock towards the end of the game, which made him go off the field. And that's why Machiro Owens was the ruck. So keep an eye on Rowan Marshall and see if he gets back up again this week and performs strongly, because I think he might have had a concussion.
Yeah, it's I think they mentioned it, Joe, like right at the end of the game. He might have gone off, so that might have saved him not actually going into concussion protocols, being like, cool, rest on the bench for a little bit. A tricky one. It'd be amazing if Rowan Marshall was not named due to concussion. I don't think it's going to happen, but imagine that. Like, keeps the game interesting is all I'm going to say.
It means that he still keeps that high break even for the following week.
Yes. Yeah. And the big thing too is, like, if you've got a Grundy is going to go up in price this week. Rowan Marshall, if he plays, is going to go down in price. It's almost a 1-for-1 split. And I think Rowan Marshall's run, like, after the Richmond game is actually, like, half decent as well. So potentially there's some options there. You could chuck in Rowan Marshall and be very happy.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to fade Gorn and pray for his downfall.
Stop saying nonsense. You can't fade Gorn.
Mate, you've only just met me. Really? I speak a lot of nonsense on a regular basis. Clayton Oliver, 164 break even. Don't discount this guy. Loves to play Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. That 164
Oh, he's not going to make
is
that.
not only doable, it is easy for him. He can double ton playing at Adelaide Oval.
It's not going to happen. He's
You
still
don't
not
believe
fit. He's still not fit. I know he's done it in the past, right? I know. But he's still not fit. He's still got enough money to lose. Don't worry about the 164. Clayton Oliver at 550K is going to be very, very juicy for us, Joe. Yeah, 2022 when he was fit and he didn't then it would be okay. But yeah, I think it's a different situation this year.
McRae, don't even think about it.
No.
Bontempelli, don't even think about it. Darcy Parish, good.
He's going to be cheap.
80 points. Nice first game.
Yeah.
He's going to be cheap.
It's going to be cheap. Does Setterfield in affect Darcy Parish better or worse?
It's a good question. They'll both, I think, be high CBA attendees. But without a doubt, Darcy Parish is our best inside mid. And I think Setterfield will play a sacrificial role, sort of being the first one in as like that first layer in the contest. Correct. So I think he's the one who's going to go in and be the hard in and under. And then the next layer of the contested football will be Darcy Parish. And then the outer layer is Zach Merritt. So I think his scoring will still be good. I think having Setterfield in the team improves his disposal efficiency because he's not the one on his hands and knees trying to flick a handball over his head. So I think Setterfield actually helps him.
Okay. No, fair enough.
Yeah. And I think that's about it, guys. When it comes to this video.
There's a few other primos in there that you might have, you might not have. Some guys to track over the next few weeks, but we've spoken a lot about the guys that are jumping up in cash. It really isn't the week to bring in these guys who were premiums who are going to drop. LDU's got a bit of time. Oliver, as opposed to what Joe thinks, I think he's got a little bit of cash still left to lose. Potentially a Jordan Dawson and a few of these other guys. So stay tuned. Over the next few weeks, we're going to go into more detail on these players, the ones you need to bring in and what times. But for right now, this is us.
And on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Drop us a like if you did, a subscription if you're new. It would greatly help the growth of our channel. And make sure you hit that ring-a-ding-ding notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the videos and live streams that we have on the channel.
Guys, we live stream twice a week, Monday nights, Thursday nights at 5:30, Mondays at 7:30. So stay tuned for those. They're a lot of fun. Get quite a few people on. We answer all your questions and go through kind of the hot topics as well. So they're pretty good.
And most importantly, we have a lot of banter between ourselves.
Yes.
Lots of banter. Tends to be always at my expense for some weird reason. I don't know what it is. People just seem to love to rib into this Essendon supporter over here. What have I ever done to you guys?
They're all jealous. They're like, you guys beat St Kilda. You're ready to go. Like, get on board. The Dons train. Dons train probably doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean.
The Dons plane. The planes.
Choo-choo. That's wrong.
Yes. What he said. I did call that we were going to beat St Kilda here on this channel, guys, and some of you laughed, but hey, it's all right. It's all right. I'm the one laughing now. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed recording it, and stay tuned because we will be live tomorrow for the drive home at 5:30. We will see you in that one.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work. Stay tuned for everything else so you guys don't have to. For now.